Hello, it's Rene Byrd, and I'm here for another fantastic talk with the lovely ladies. I can't wait to introduce you to them. And this is a Who Am I talk. And sometimes we need to sit down, we need to have a chat with some amazing ladies. And this is a pre-record. I know you're used to your IG live, but we're having a chat and you'll hear about it and watch it later. So I'm here with the most amazing ladies. I love to champion ladies. I've got in my corner Amy Williams. She is the CEO and founder of Foundry. Love her to bits. And my darling Mary, she is the NED and the advisory for Foundry. So I'm so excited to have them both on here today to talk about this amazing movement. And you know how women, we're just wow. So we just want to share our stories and really champion each other. It's really important to do that. We fix each other's crowns, guys. So, Amy, talk to me. First, I want to find out about your story. We're going to talk about Foundry, but what's your background? I don't know much about you, to be honest. It's funny, isn't it? I know a lot about the core.
How does that happen? We don't know much about each other. Well, thank you firstly for having me today. I've been very excited about this since we put it in to particularly talk to have you both on the same call in this session. So my background and my story, it's funny because I've just done a blog about this actually. So you can find it on our website and also in the app now, just to kind of share a bit about my background and story and kind of why I came into this. So my background is I've been in media for far too long, around about 20 years. So I've seen it all. I've worked for, predominantly in the women's space for that time. And I've seen it, change a huge amount. And it's, there's been some really good strides, but it's still not where it needs to be. And I've worked for some very, very male-dominated brands as well along the way. Vice, Daily Mail. So there's a lot of stories there. And my background is my dad was a self-made businessman. He was an entrepreneur. I grew up in Yorkshire, and my dad was always, saying, oh, you could sell ice to the Eskimos, and people used to say that about him. And, he was one of those kind of like knock on the door salesmen. My mum still got a picture of their warehouse, which was basically their garage at the time, where she would like hand label stuff, and dad would go out and sell it, industrial cleaning products. And so I always really, really admired him and his kind of drive and ambition. And that just came from, I think, wanting to give his family better than he had when he grew up. So it was always kind of really instilled in me to, I think, work hard. I always had that real kind of work ethic and drive. But in all honesty, being in all my years of media, I fell into media. I did sports physio at uni, so nothing to do with media. I was very, very sporty growing up. I loved anything to do with sport. I was generally, my mum would always say I was always up a tree, or, I wasn't one of these like pretty girls that would run. You said, she'd put tights on me and I'd come home with holes in all of them. Oh, for God's sake, So yeah, I fell into media. And then really, everyone throughout my whole career said to me, oh, you're made to be an entrepreneur, you're made to run your own business. And that's all very well and good. And I kind of knew that as well, but I never really knew what it was I wanted to do, and hadn't really found that passion. I knew I was always very passionate about, women's topics and gender equality, certainly from, my own experiences and where I'd worked. And I always got the kind of stigma of, she's got blonde hair and, this, that and the other. And, that kind of real sexualization, I suppose, around that. And I love nothing more than being told I can't do something, because that just makes me want to do it 50 times more. I think it was how my parents got me to do my homework when I was little. I never wanted to do that. So I fell into it, really. I had a series of, unfortunate events, to put it that way, and in my own life, and pretty much every major life thing that can happen happened to me in a very, very short space of time. And that really makes you evaluate. You can't go through all of those things, death, divorce, redundancy, you name it, it happened. And without really starting to look at yourself and question, who am I? And, what do I want to be when I grow up, and what do I want to do for the world? And that, as contrite as that sounds, it really made me start thinking. I was very disillusioned with media and where the marketplace was, and I thought, I really want to do something more than this, and I want to do something that I'm really passionate about. And the opportunity kind of just came to run another business, and then I evolved it into what is now Foundry. And basically, I just started to speak to loads of phenomenal women like yourself and like Mary. And I thought to myself, do you know what? Wouldn't it be really cool? Like, ultimately, we're all trying to do the same thing and drive for the same goal here.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be cool if there was a platform where all of these amazing women and groups could go, and the other women could find these amazing groups and these amazing women? And that's kind of where Foundry was born out of, really. And it's kind of just really, really gathered pace since we started doing it. And I think it's really timely to where we are now. I always say that, to your point about adjusting each other's crowns, there's so many women's groups and women even that say they support women but don't really. And I think we have to start doing it. I always say, it's not what you say, it's what you do that really counts. And that's what at Foundry we really believe in.
That's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. See, we're just amazing, us women. We know what we need to do. We go do it. We say what we mean.
Yeah.
We're absolutely on. I've been saying it. Not to. I'm going to segue. I'm going to speak to my lovely Mary. We always wonder what would have happened in this year if we was in control. Not knocking the guys, but let's think about this. All the countries in the world where things are actually moving, there's the COVID free. There happens to be women in power. Tells you something, doesn't it? Tells you something. And this brings me on to Mary. I adore her. I'm so happy to have met you, Mary. We've had loads of conversations and chats and giggles. Yes, and I'm so excited to share the world with you. You're just amazing. So talk to me.
Thank you. You're such a wonderful spirit. So I have to tell you, I am. My background has been in tech. I was raised in a very small town in Missouri. My father was a college professor, probably trained every CEO in the country. But I, being an only female, I was one of the first female VPs at Motorola and AT&T, woman leaders, only woman in the room. I have the 10,000 razor blade cuts. I think I started in the third grade realizing that we weren't equal, and I couldn't understand it because I could run faster than the boys and all this kind of stuff. So, even as I grew up, it started to, still be the same and just be louder, right? Like we weren't paid the same. I'd come up with an idea and it didn't become popular until a gentleman said it, repeated what I said. So, all those kinds of things I lived through and I saw, but along the way, I really mentored a lot of, women within my organizations. I always had a 50-50, group within my organizations, felt very strongly about it and promoted women whenever I could and helped supported them in all aspects of living. And I've always been a connector. I think I learned that from my mother at a very early age, bringing people together because, trying to help them, it's just that next person that you might meet, right? Like I met the two of you, right? So I remember when Beverly Knight said, Mary, you need to look at Foundry, love to have you on the team, meet Amy. And once I heard about the platform and what it was all about, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in there. I mean, this is, I look back in my vision book and I want to empower and support women and children around the globe, because I know how hard it is. And I think of all those, single women out there who are working, raising kids, it's a tough job, And so for me, that's a big part of what I wanted to do. And I left my last big corporate because I've always been with the Fortune 30, and I left it last year. And then, that's where I met Amy. And then I met Marinella for Hera, and I was working both of them simultaneously. Hera being an organization that is looking to build a city for the future of humanity with the theme of in honor of women. So bringing female organizations together for there was something I wanted to do. And then when I was talking to Amy, I said, we could do the same here. And then
Yeah.
the next thing I know, I've got Marinella and Amy talking, and we're now, the two organizations have partnered. And so we look at Foundry as that place where women from all organizations around the globe and any female business can be on the platform. And so, think WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Facebook combined with podcast and TV. And it's a learning platform for education. It's a great to get, some support information from other women, meet other women around the world. There is, united, we are stronger. And definitely when you think that 51% of the globe is women, but we have less than 10% of, some of the big jobs out there. And it's really, really, really important for us to get more women at the table. And I know at Hera, it's, getting them a job, getting them in a home, get an education, make a living. And we're really focused on those projects. We cannot do it without Foundry. Foundry is that voice, that instant conversation, meeting other women and other organizations, things that you didn't even know about, right?
Yeah.
And the tools to be able to learn and support each. It's not a platform for selfies. So if you're in the selfie business, this is not the place for you.
That's correct.
And it's and also helping to break down that queen bee syndrome. We have to help each other, because we are our own worst enemy. And so that's, we need to quietly adjust crowns and not knock them off. And I think what Amy is building is right on target for that platform for women around the world, no matter your age, no matter your religion.
Everything. No, it's so
everyone. I think as well, it's not just for business women as well, because it's a really, really key point that when I looked at the market, a lot of spaces that are doing this are just aimed at, career, ambition, driven. And these are a lot of words that I think put a lot of women off. And certainly going through my own experiences just in life, I never felt I had a place, even a digital place, or my kind of tribe, if you like, where I really fitted in, that I felt that I could be vulnerable and, ask maybe silly questions or, about anything. And that's why we've set the platform up as we have, to be across these kind of very 8 targeted and very niche groups. So if you're interested in family and you've got kids and you want questions or other women who can support you in that, there is a group for that. If you're into STEM and you want to talk to other people around that, there's a group for that, and you'll only see content relevant to those in those groups. But yet you can be part of a much bigger community and join as many or as little groups as that you want. So it's designed to be a much more pleasurable, curated experience, that and a very safe space as well, where you can make genuine connections.
No, totally. I'm very blessed to be a founder member of this amazing platform. But guys, it's, as you said, as Amy said, and as Mary was saying, there's something for everyone, because it's very daunting. We're very ambitious women and we've got loads of things going on, but I have this thing about there's a superpower in everybody. A lot of people are saying what about me? And I haven't got anything. Well, you have. Don't you agree, girls?
Yeah, absolutely agree. I had this question earlier about being an entrepreneur and what it takes and all of that. And I think there's an entrepreneur in all of us, and it's the same thing. I think everyone has a superpower, and sometimes you don't know what it is. You don't know it's in there until you're pushed to do it. But I very much believe that, and I think that now is with what's happened with the world, particularly this year, we knew it was going this way, and this has accelerated this. And if we don't all come out of this as changed individuals and our goals and ambitions and, just the loves and things, and we speak those into reality, that's what we say on the platform, then what's it all for? And I really, really want to create a space, especially as, I am a white woman, and I am passionate about creating a space that is for all inclusive to everyone. And the minute that we are not that, then it's game over, and you know, we failed. So you know, I have a lot of advisors, and that's why we've created all you amazing Foundry leaders to help guide me and keep the business on the right track in that perspective.
No,
And
you're doing that, definitely, Amy. That's without a question. You
good,
are.
that's good. You know, and just age is a big thing, as Mary mentioned, because you know, we want this to be educational, so we want to be creating role models for that younger generation, and having that younger generation in. We've actually just dropped the age of the platform to 16 today.
Okay. Wow.
Because we're launching an academy which is all around skills and workshops across a real multitude and diverse range of topics. But you know, life doesn't stop when you're after 25. It really doesn't, you know. So
it doesn't. It actually begins.
It really does. It genuinely does. And I think, you know, there's so many media platitudes about this, but it really, really does. And there's so many phenomenal women out there. From, you know, I've got friends from every age who I learn from every day. And again, I'm passionate that this platform delivers that and speaks to all ages and all backgrounds.
No, I think you've definitely nailed it. I think the time is now. I think in this season, this year, it's been a reflective year, and there has been some really bad experiences, so I think about them all the time. But it's been a reflective time to really think about who you are. We've had moments to be introvert and think. We've been a lot on our own, thinking and quantifying. And I think now more than ever, we're going to go for it, because what's holding you back? You know, nothing's going to hold you back, is it, Mary?
No, there isn't. You know, actually, excuse me for interrupting, Amy, but I wanted to impress on this when you were talking about COVID. I think in this year of COVID, I mean, I have been in this same four walls here since March 1. I have met more amazing people, and I have created so much in this 8 months that I couldn't even dream possible. And you know, you at first you think it's going to hold you back from creating no, actually, I think that the time has actually been better. It's easier to access people. It's, you know, and especially when we're on a mission to, you know, improve humanity and improve on equality and improve in the planet and all those kinds of things. People are listening because they know Mother Nature slapped us on the butt and sent us to our room. And we have to come out of this thing with a new world. And in order for us to do that, we need women stronger. We need women, you know, not only just speaking up, but acting up.
Yeah. I think as well, Mary, it's a really good point that I've really learned that I felt more supported this year launching this business and met more phenomenal people than I ever have. And I've learned you just have to ask, you know, like if you're struggling a bit, or if you're, you know, a bit frustrated with something, you just got to ask. And people, I wrote this in the blog, that people really genuinely actually do want to support you when you're doing something good. And that's something that's really I suppose impressed me this year, that, you know, and it's a really lovely thing that's come out of this year and building this with you guys.
No, it's amazing. After you, Mary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Rene and I had talked about this before, but when you are working on something that the world needs and it's improving, whether humanity or the planet, and if you're authentic about it, the universe opens up for you. So everything comes together, and so there is no battle, you know, because you're being very authentic on how you're wanting to do something, give service to others, right? And when you do that, you know, it just opens up because people want to be a part of it. They're done with the past. Everybody wants to move forward.
No, definitely. I think what you guys are doing is just amazing. I think, as I said, the time is everything. I really do encourage a lot of ladies to join. It's quite a simple application, isn't it? Just to find it, and join and just be part of the movement. Because if it's going to be what I see happening even in 1 year, I'm so excited to think what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, we've got some amazing women that everything you possibly need, where we've got it.
Yeah, and we've got some great stuff coming as well with the academy, which, you know, Mary and I are so excited about. It's you know, as I say, it's I'm very passionate about it. It's you know, not only education, but just offering anyone, you know, different skills, workshops. There's loads of free stuff on there. It's everything from, you know, what is cryptocurrency? What the hell does it mean? How do I work it? You know, to how do I get into engineering, to beauty, to fashion, fitness, you know, a nutrition course, you know, everything, and loads of alternative things as well, that I think isn't on offer anywhere else, and that's something we're really proud of. We're working really hard to deliver, so it feels like a really personal, curated experience to everyone.
No, I think that, so it's educational, it's forward thinking, it's innovative, it's everything that women in particular we need. We've got so many skills though, we're multifaceted. I laugh because I think of the things I'm doing in one day. I'm like a little octopus. I'm like moving between
I know. Well, people say to me like, what should I post? I'm like, anything, like nothing is off topic, like, you know, like just be yourself. That's the main thing, like be yourself. There is no judgments on this platform, and unlike any other platform, if we will only tolerate bad behavior once and then you're out.
Yeah,
it's one strike and you're out. Whereas a lot of other platforms are 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, it's like me being abusive to you 9 times and you're just going to sit there and take it. It's ridiculous. So, you know, we have a very, very high tolerance, or a low tolerance, should I say, on that.
No, that's exactly, people need to feel safe because we go through so much things as women and we're judged. And as I said, I've had quite a lot of people on my platform, and I've done the Who Am I, what we're on today, and it's like, as you said, you get to an age and everyone kind of writes you off, and we're like, hold on, we're still here, you know, we can still do our hair, we're still involved in sexual feelings and all the rest of the stuff. You think we don't just drop off suddenly. So people need to feel that, you know, yes, you got through different spheres of your life, you're going to experience different things, and you need that support and that conversation with other women to find out, how was it for you? We're good at
absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's a really, really good point. It's something that I felt personally that was, you know, I'm 41 now, and I really felt that was missing for me, you know, I think being in media all my life as well, it was just, maybe I took it for granted, and, you know, worked for big publications where it was always kind of like there, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, and then I suddenly started thinking, well, hang on, I'm just not really interested in any of these other things. They're not really resonating with me because they weren't real and they weren't authentic, and, you know, as a consequence I wasn't wanting to engage in any of them. So yeah, I think it's a really good point, and that's why, you know, the age thing for me is a really, really big factor, that, you know, life does not happen, you know, life does happen after 25, in fact, and it gets better, it just gets better, you know, without sounding, I sound like I'm 70, but
it's okay to not know what you're going to do when you grow up. And I think what people need to understand is there really is no destination. It's really about the journey, and the people that you meet along the way, your successes, your failures. I mean, sometimes the more failures you have, the better success that you have, because you're all learning through the process. And I'm reading a really good book right now called 3 Feet from Gold. And I've read a portion of like Think and Grow Rich and stuff like that before. But the interesting thing about this is if you find your passion, right? And if you find what you love, it's not work. And then if you're willing to do it for free, you know, you're really on the right track. And the thing is that everybody, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of moms that have been raising kids all for years and want to get back in the workforce and don't have a clue, what can I do, what am I good at, right? And I think this COVID, if we're still enough to really listen to our heart and make a list of the things that we're good at and the things that we're passionate about, and you just all of a sudden fold that envelope together and see where that takes you, then all of a sudden you're creating something. You are an entrepreneur because you're creating something from scratch. And the thing is that if you're giving good service to others, people will want it and they will come. But anyway, I just thought I would share that.
No, you're completely right, Mary. I think as I said, a lot of us are really hard on ourselves. We think because we haven't, whatever your achievement or whatever you think it is, but actually, isn't it your own contract? It's your decision. And it's a better version of you every single day. That's all I can work towards, because to do anything more, try and push yourself or go over it, just do it too much, it becomes very stressful. And then there's another conversation happening. So I think you just need to one day at a time be grateful, have gratitude, and just be mindful and
Yes.
just keep pushing. And every day, because even now, as I said, in the season, we was literally not much control we had. We had to kind of stay within a certain parameter. And all you could do is look after yourself, make sure your well-being is good, your friends, your family, and take that time, because we didn't get that chance to take that time. I'm sure between us all, we was always on the plane somewhere, going somewhere on some call. But now we've actually had stillness, which has really made, and I think we've because of the stillness, there's so much better things that have come out of this. Really had a chance to think, and I mean think without the noise of the world, and really reflect and build in a completely different way.
Well, I think all the best things come out of well, I can't swear on here probably, but bad, a word I can't say. I think, yeah, you know, as Mary's saying, I think you have to go through failures to come out the other side. Mary's laughing at me now. Sitting, I'm not allowed to say that.
Give me a new word.
I swear all the time as well. I've got a terrible mouth. I have to really watch myself.
You're doing.
I'm a word makeup or two as well, so you know you'll look for them sometime. But anyway, we're on the same page. I got it.
I came out with one earlier that I won't say now, but Mary thought it was hilarious. She's like, I'm coining that phrase. But yeah, you know, it is that terrible, you know, the age old, you know, before it's darkest before dawn, and you know, and all of that. And I really do think that's true. And I think that the worldwide situation we're going through now, you know, is showing us that there's some amazing things coming out of it, and that's what we have to focus on. And you know, to your point just now, it's our inner voice, and particularly for women, you know, we even have research around this and around COVID, that women have struggled with COVID way more than men, you know, in their mental health and you know, in their daily life, because they're the ones in general at home who are, you know, managing the home, the kids, and then they've got their job on the top of that. And so, you know, a lot of people think, oh, this work from home is really easy. Well, actually, it's piled on a lot of stress that, you know, wasn't there before, and a whole completely different way of working. And, you know, for a lot of women, that commute was their, like, you know, their out.
Time out.
Being calm in the day. You know, I think a lot of people as well, men would probably be the same. And, you know, certainly a point that we do not man bash on this platform. We love men. We absolutely love men. Men can join, you know, and if men want to be part of this community and have something interesting and positive to say, then we absolutely encourage them to do so. But I think, you know, to that research, it's women's own inner voice, and we're bad at talking to ourselves. And, you know, personally, I went through my own personal journey and had to learn to talk to myself how I would talk to others. You know, I'm so encouraging to other people, but I wasn't to myself.
Yes.
And when someone pointed that out, it was very painful, but I thought, yeah, you're right. You're very right. And Mary's got a little routine. Do you want to share that with us, Mary, what you do every morning?
Yeah, like I said, I love you.
I love that. You give a kiss.
I give a kiss to myself and say I love you.
And we're so bad at that, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, like I've got a girlfriend and she's going through some stuff, and I always say to her, what would you tell me?
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, what would you tell me? Because you love me like I love you.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me what you, come on now. And you just see silence at the end, because you do know, don't you? But it's hard.
It is hard, yeah. It's hard, but I think it's like you say, it's that love and respect for yourself. And it's so easy to say. And I'm not remotely sitting here going, oh, it's so easy. Like, it's not. Like, it really is tough. But I think if you're willing to do it, it does start to feel so much better when you can. It was so awkward, you know. I got told to say I love you in the mirror to myself, and I couldn't do it. I was like, no. Really British as well, so I was like, oh no. I was like, hello, no, that's like, you know. So it was a real process.
Yeah, Mary, that's fine. She's like, mirror.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I love you.
This is what I love about the Brits. I mean, really, it takes them a little bit, sometimes longer, just to get into that space. But I remember telling a girlfriend of mine to say, I love you in the mirror. And she broke down and cried, and she just couldn't do it. And you know, the thing is, and one of the other little secret tips I do, and I know Rene had brushed on this earlier, is the gratitude. I mean, if you wake up in the morning and you go to bed at night and you talk about all the things that you're grateful for, It puts your brain in the path of shoving all the negative out, because I don't know what it is about the negative, man. It can just like slip in when you're not even looking, and the next thing you know, you're destitute and homeless, you know. And I'm like, how do you go to there, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, doing those little steps of kissing yourself, loving yourself, and keeping the positive, you know, gratitude list is really, really important.
I massively believe in that. I've just recently, because I watch a lot of YouTube about this, and I recently did a like gratitude letter to the universe. So, you know, everything that you're grateful for, and it can be like forward thinking as well. And I say recently, but it was about 8 months ago I wrote it. And I think there's probably about 9 or 10, you know, simple things, some simple, some reaching on there, that I wrote this to the universe, to myself, from me. And basically you just, you know, you read it every night before you go to bed, and then you can read it first thing in the morning as well. And sometimes I feel it really helps if you're in a bit of a funk and a bad mood, and like you say, these negative thoughts are coming in, and just reading it out loud, like somehow it just does make you feel better. And I kid you not, at least 6 of those things on that gratitude letter have happened. So, you know, it is this, as we say it on the platform, you have to speak it into reality. And, you know, many people might think this is a load of word I can't say on here, but it's really not. And even if you think that, it does make you just feel better. It does.
Yes. So I'm 100% about that. Every night, every morning. And there's power in the tongue. People don't realize it. And then how you act and you behave, and your whole day starts different when you come with this different energy. You know, I've got don't stop till you get enough on my ringtone and alarm. So I wake up and I'm dancing, you know.
I can imagine that about you, Rene.
And we should have Rene have a Foundry ringtone.
Alarm. Wake up with Rene.
Good. I mean, she sings like a bird. She's
that's true. Yeah.
So I'm thinking a few bars of Foundry. I can see something here.
Wait till we have a shop, Rene. We're going to have your ringtone. We're going to
everything.
Gratitude manifestations by Rene.
Everything. You know, and as you know, we're talking about, and what's so good is about that positivity. You're completely right, Amy and Mary. I think we have to, because life can get you down. We've all got a story. Yeah. All done the pillow, cry, the throw, and all the stuff that we had to go through. But something very powerful about women, we just cry it out. I was thinking about the other day, and you know, we've had situations or experiences, and we think, oh, not having that again. And we didn't think we'd ever love again. And then you meet someone, you go, oh, he's nice. You know, did you forget what you went through? Did the heart forget? But it didn't. It's just that we get over it and we move forward and we just embrace a new day. And that's what's so powerful about us. We're just, wow.
Yeah. I would say you just gotta, there was a point, you know, where I was like, I can't, I don't know how I'm gonna carry on, you know, and like how am I gonna do life? And you've just gotta, you know, someone said to me, 1 minute you just got to put one foot in front of the other, and 1 minute you'll be kneeling, and then the next you'll be standing, and then the next you'll be running, and you won't even notice it. You just got to just take every day as it comes and keep going. And I think that's really good advice, you know, particularly in the time we're in now, where, you know, mental health is so prevalent, and people are struggling. You know, there's always something every day that you can just be thankful for, however small that is.
Exactly. I've had days where I was just grateful that I made my bed in the morning.
Or just grateful to get up.
All that you can do, right? Sometimes that's all that you can do, but you just do it, and then you're right. Then you just move on, and it's a little more.
And so what's the future? I mean, I know there's a lot going on with Hera. We could have a whole nother Zoom about that, but I know there's a lot going on. You spoke about the academy. So what would you like? You know, I don't want to have like an interview thing, you know, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But what would be the ultimate passion and the whole plan? Take over the world, obviously. The book, the Netflix, the movie, I see it all.
Amazing.
And we're speaking it out now. We've said it here on this date, so let's see what happens. I believe it.
Can I just say real quickly?
Yes.
I want 51% of the global people on this platform.
That sounds amazing. It's definitely going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I could give you all of the business talk, and we want to be the #1 female platform. And I mean, that'd be lovely. It'd be phenomenal. You know, I'd cry personally. But for me, I would just love to see, you know, in 6 months' time, a large percentage of that 51% of the population genuinely on this platform and really feeling that they have a safe space that they can be themselves and interact with no matter what that's about, and to see that kind of dial change against those more traditional, you know, me platforms, as you know, I would say we're all about we, and we want to prove to the rest of the world and the naysayers out there who you know think that we're just saying these things, that we're not, that that women, when we actually do work together and we mean it, just you watch what can happen, you know. And that's what I really want to prove.
No, I love that. And Mary, the world, 51%. Hera, obviously the connection, what you're doing with that Foundry, a lot of people don't realize there's a city being built, which is going to help women.
Right. Well, so we have a lot of projects going on, and as a matter of fact, I was going to bring one up to you, Rene, that we want to engage you on. One of our ambassadors, Mercy, who you met, right?
Yes. We haven't met. We've spoken a few times, and actually, I'm going to be on. Yeah, I'm going to be on a TV program on Friday, tomorrow. So yeah, we're doing something. She's zooming me in, so she's great.
Perfect. Well, she's going to run a festival for Hera in the UK next year. Yeah. So, and I was just talking to Amy about it earlier today, that it would be great if we did Hera and Foundry together on this festival.
Amazing.
So I've just made an introduction to Mercy and Amy on LinkedIn here just earlier today about getting together on that. But I'm thinking, Rene, that you should participate on that as well.
Definitely.
If Mercy hasn't told you about it already. So I want to give you a heads up on that. So we have a number of projects going on right now because the land negotiation, as you can imagine, because of COVID, is kind of halted a bit because we can't go places. You know, so we're in discussions with India right now, and France and Morocco. I know that one of our biggest investors, who's wanting to give us a $500 million, would like us to do this.
Like they can.
I know. Well, we don't have it yet.
Well, you're going to get it. You've just spoken it out. I told you.
Yeah, it's true, Mary.
Yeah. So he'd like us to do it in India, and which we think would be fantastic, right? But some of the other projects that we have going on, we just having our website updated. As a matter of fact, after I get off this call, Amy, I've got another one with the team. But we're building a biocultural center in Panama next to Geoversity. Nathan Gray is the CEO, good friends with Jane Goodall. He saved a jungle from like completely dead to now thriving with rivers and trees and everything. So Cameron, the famous producer, filmed his movie Avatar there. So it's really a special piece of land, and they've saved some of the indigenous Kuna people there as well. So we're going to have a big event come February. So I'm on the team to kind of help build that out. And then, as you know, Hera TV, which we would like to put this document on Hera TV, which I'm leading. And then we also have a wellness center that we may be building out in the Maldives. So we're in discussions with the government there. So we've got little kinds of projects going on. And then, of course, the festival, the perfume should be announced at the end of the year. And so all proceeds from the perfume will go right to Hera projects. But we'll get the big money for the city. But right now, until we have a signed contract on the land,
it's coming.
It's coming. But I've been reaching out to some of the female organizations about, coming on board and collaborating. We've got a very famous woman, museum curator in the U.S. who wants to be engaged with our museum, and she's got all the ambassadors, the EU ambassadors coming in to see the museum there in Baltimore, and she's got some really great stuff. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of different projects that are going on. So, but we look at Foundry as our most important partner.
Absolutely.
This is game changing. This is getting all the women together.
Yeah. No, it's so exciting. It's I mean, ladies and gentlemen, listening to all the things that the women, I must add, are going to change the world with. That was just the tip of the iceberg. and look at all the things that we're managing to do. And what's so powerful, we're doing it now. As I said, all these people saying, oh, nothing's happening. No, there's a load of things happening in the world. As we speak, people are changing things, evolving, innovating things, protecting women, protecting children. It's just, wow,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
exciting.
Yep. Yep. We also have another project where we're building a $10 million fund to help fund Indian entrepreneurs. So if you guys know some big investors that want to invest in India, let me know. So we're excited about that project as well. But there's a lot to be done.
There is.
And you know what? Women are just amazingly powerful and talented and courageous and givers, right?
Yes,
And we
yes.
know how to live. We know how to take care of children and our community and our planet. So I think, the men should let us come in very graciously. We're not taking over.
No,
We just want to sit right next to them
that's right.
and qualify, and let it be heard how we need to go forward. So I've even had conversations with UN Smart Cities, and they think, oh my God, this is the platform we need going forward. And I said, right now we got to get one. I mean, we got to get one done. And but we'll need the voices from everybody, all the women around the world, to be able to share what they want out of the city going forward. And we've got some good partners. There's also another partner we have, Alatra. Did an interview with them. I don't know, Amy, you did one, right, with Alatra TV?
No, I don't think so. Did I?
Oh, I'm trying to think. If I haven't, I need to get you both in front of them. So
Maybe.
they are
Someone else.
So the thing is, sometimes I even forget what I've done. So
I know, or I was like, oh God, I'm out. No, I don't think it was. I remembered. No.
So they are an organization that started out of the Ukraine, and it's called Creative Society.
Yeah.
And they are very focused on creating a great society, a new culture, right? Around kindness, around happiness,
Wow.
loving,
Nice.
Love it.
very, and they're in 180 countries, and they're all volunteers.
Wow. That's insane.
That's amazing.
So they're going to be one of our TV partners, but I'll have to get you guys an interview because I think
Great.
your voices should be heard in regards to the things that you guys are doing.
I'd love to. Thank you. See, this is what's so amazing about women. You see, we're talking about the brand Foundry, but then we're still networking and we're still sharing. See, we're just, wow, we do this naturally.
Yes.
Guys, I'm really excited. I'm sure you're hearing what we're about, what we're trying to do, what Mary and Amy are spearheading. You've got to join. You'll just be missing out, really, missing out on all these amazing women and all this experience. And how can they connect? So what's the best way for anyone listening to join and be a part of this?
So it's super easy. We're live in 53 countries. App Store, just go and search for Fem Foundry, FEM, separate word Foundry, and we should come up. We should see like a little blue logo with a kind of gold circle, which is all the circles and all the women uniting. Or you can go to fem-foundry.com, and that's our website, and you can download directly from there as well. That links to both Google and Apple. So download and join. It's free currently, so get on there.
Definitely. And thank you. And Mary, anything to add to close?
Well, you can also get to Fem Foundry through HERA, so heracity.org, and we're a nonprofit. And their Fem Foundry is our most important partner. So we've got their website there that you can connect directly and download the app. So come on board. We want to hear from you. We want to chat with you.
And we're about to launch our own podcast very soon as well, which we'll be love to have you on, Rene.
Oh, love to. Thank you.
So we're very excited about that as well, and bringing you some phenomenal women and some, real life stories, kind of, cutting under the edge of, all the BS out there, hopefully. So that's exciting too, coming soon.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. And you guys are just out of this world. I'm so, as I said before earlier on, so happy to have met you, to have the introduction. As I said, it's something very special about being a good person, having integrity, living correctly, and doing the right thing, because this is how you meet women and how you meet people. People refer you, and I was referred to Mary, then referred to Amy, and now I've got an amazing network of ladies that are just doing incredible things. So thank you so much for joining us on the Who Am I Talk, and
Thank
catch up again soon. I can't wait to catch up with you.
you. Bye.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.